Hey everybody, welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Today with my good friend and guest, Carole Stizza. It's going to be a good one. Make sure and share this with your friends. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. So glad to be with you today. Hey, maybe it's not morning where you are. I get that. Whatever time it is, I am happy that you're here today. It's morning for me, and this is a good time for me, a good time of day. I am a morning guy, and so I am ready to roll for a new week. I also one of those crazy people that love Mondays. So new week, new opportunities, new possibilities. I love that. I'm expecting good things. In fact, we're going to talk about that in the marketing tip of the day today. And I'm pretty sure that I have spoken about this before, but I think it is so important that I'm doing it again today. And we're going to talk about expecting positive results. But in the meantime, just want to thank y'all for being here. What a blessing it is. I am honored that you are here with me today. And for those of you that are here already, as I see in the comments starting to come in here, can you please do me a huge favor? Start sharing this out. Let people know. Tag your friends. Let people know that you're here and Carole's going to be here. Carole Stizza is here with me today on Marketing with Russ. People do not want to miss Carole. So it's going to be a great day, great discussion. So thankful for everybody here today. So please do that. Share, share, share. Tag your friends. Let them know what's going on. And I'm just be so blessed if you would do that. So I also want to let you know, if you've never been here before, welcome, by the way. This show is all about how amazing people connect. And you think, what does that have to do with marketing? Well, I would say just about everything. Connection and community building is the foundation for any good marketing plan, any good business. Without the people, you have no business, right? So like Zig Ziglar always says, you build the people and then the people build your business. How do you build people? Well, by connecting, building community, building relationships, being authentic, and maybe a little vulnerable at times. There's things that we're all going through. Sometimes that's good to talk about and open up the door to those things. Other times, you know what? We just want to be a blessing to others, but we're all about connection. And guess what? I love to connect. I know it's just shocking, right? I love to connect, and I would love to connect with you. So if you would do me a huge favor, go to russhedge.com today. I think that is as easy as I could get for you. russhedge.com. If you know my name, you know how to get to me, right? And I also would love it if you would please subscribe to our YouTube page. It's growing. It's great. People are really coming in, and a lot of it's due to the fact that my animals are way more popular than I am. We have all the live streams there, which is the most important thing. But on YouTube Shorts, there's a lot of good things. There's the marketing tip of the day, by the way, but there's also just some great little fun videos with my dog and my cat, my little beagle and cat. So much fun. So anyway, if you just want to smile and you want to laugh, which is good for all of us. Carole and I were talking about that. That's a good place to go. And how do you get there, you ask? Straight to marketingwithruss.live. If you know the name of the show, you know how to get there. marketingwithruss.live is the place to go, and you'll find my YouTube page. You can subscribe. In fact, you can click right now, go up there, open another tab, type in marketingwithruss.live. It'll bring it up. You can subscribe. Boom, all done. There you go. So thanks again for doing that. Thanks again for sharing and tagging your friends. I appreciate all that. The last thing I want to tell you here, well, maybe not the last thing, but we're going to talk about my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, and the other books available, my collaborative anthology books with amazing friends that have become international bestsellers, have been number one on Amazon, have gone all around the world, all available, believe it or not. I know it's going to be shocking to you, but it's all available at russhedge.com. Everything about me, there it is, even my books. But you can also go to Amazon or online booksellers for those as well. And I would just love it if you would be able to get a copy. If you want to really be encouraged, learn to live a life on purpose and with purpose, learn to live with a positive mindset and perspective. Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose is your book, because you do get to live the life you choose. So, okay, we have one more thing here, our marketing tip of the day. And then we're going to get Carole in the room because I'm ready to get this conversation started. But the marketing tip of the day we do every Monday and Thursday. And then it gets cut out separately, goes out on all social media, YouTube shorts, all of that. So if you want to take and share just that with somebody, or you just want to go back and watch the 30, 45-second short little marketing tip of the day, you can do that. So anyway, here we go. We're going to do it today. This is your marketing tip of the day. Expect positive results. That's right. Expect positive results. You know what? You get what you expect because you're looking for it. There's this thing in the front of your brain called the reticular activator. And let's just say you go out and buy a red Mustang. Next week you go driving, all you see is red Mustangs all over the road because you get what you're looking for. You're focused on what you have there and your brain looks for it. It actually makes connections that find what you're looking for. That's how you improve your life, by expecting positive results. When you're looking for them, you will find them. The opposite is true. If you're looking for negative things, you're going to find that too. And that is no fun, I can tell you. So today, smile, expect positive results. When you go out and you're trying to make a sale, expect you're going to do it. When you go out and you're trying to get some funds for your nonprofit, expect you're going to get them. When you go out and you're going to have cancer treatment and have a test, you're going to expect, like I do, to have a good positive test. So today, expect positive results, and that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, so there we go. We got that done for today. We're going to get Carole in the room. I'm so excited. Here she comes. Carole Stizza, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, and it is Thanksgiving week, and want to remind everybody to use hashtag 1000 thanks. Tell everybody you're thankful for them, and it reminds you too on social media or online, whatever. It's a good way to be thankful. So you are so excited about this great week. Get a little rest.
Get a little work in, get a lot of rest, get a lot of laughter. We've started a new tradition of pie for breakfast. This is the week, all week, we have pie for breakfast. That way, we don't miss it because we're too full after Thanksgiving. So I'm grateful for new thinking.
I love that. I think, if I could pull that off, I would do that every day. Unfortunately, my type 1 diabetes does mess with that, but
That would
I
make
can
it.
have
Yep.
little bits, but I can have little teeny bits. Yeah, I have a bite here and there, and I can live with that. So, all right, Carole, well, listen, for those who missed your amazing first episode, tell everybody, who is Carole and what are you up to?
Oh, well, Carole Stizza, I'm an executive coach. My past career was all in HR, so I advocate for what your people need from you in leadership. And I have written a book. I've done anthologies of books. I'm a speaker on leadership characteristics and behaviors that will help people expect and get good positive results with you as a leader. And I've developed a new leadership development training for just that, starting in 2025. So I'm all about people getting exactly what they want from their careers and their leaders. But leaders kind of have to know what their people need from them, because somehow they kind of have been just removed enough that they forgot what it's like to work for them.
I think that is so true. I think a lot of times that we lose track of what's really important. in leadership, in relationships, right? I think that a lot of times this is a good week to remember
Mhm.
not just your work relationships, but what about your family and those things. Sometimes the people closest to us, we look past the quickest, right? And I think
Yeah.
that, yeah, that is so important. One thing you said that really sticks out to me, advocating that you do for others. I'm sure that as you teach them and coach them, you teach them also how to advocate for themselves. And this always comes back to me, to my cancer journey, where a lot of times you have to do a lot of advocating for yourself with doctors and professionals who are well-meaning, but they're looking at you like another patient, another number a lot of times because they're having to get through things and they lose track of the people sometimes. So you got to make sure and advocate for yourself.
Mhm.
But in business, I love that. So people are struggling and you're helping them advocate for them, but how do you get them to help themselves?
So there is a phenomenon within positive psychology called positive feedback. And Harvard research revealed that teaching people how to give feedback fails about 95% of the time. But if you can teach people how to ask for what they're doing well and where to grow next, that's a more positive and energetic conversation, and it guides the information that you receive. So if you go and say, hey, here's one thing, what do I do right? And where do you see me growing next? You're in control of receiving that good, here's what I'm doing well, don't mess that up. And oh, you see me growing here, interesting conversation. So instead of waiting to receive any input from anybody else, criticism, compliments, don't wait. Go out and ask for what you need, when you need it, and when you can use it. And that's what I love to reveal to people is give them permission to have a little bit more control of what they receive every day.
Yeah, and I love that. I mean, taking a look at what people do well and building and growing on that. I mean, I think a lot of times, I know you've heard this. You got to
Mhm,
work on your weaknesses, right? And
mhm,
sometimes people work with people to work so hard on what they're really just not good at, they lose track of building on what they are good at. And I
mhm.
think personally, you give me your feeling on this. Personally, I think that's a big mistake. I think weaknesses, except for in some areas where you have to do things for business, like invoicing that I hate to do, but I have to do. Most things you can build up your strengths and really go the right direction as opposed to getting off track on the weaknesses, right?
Mhm. So there's the words flow, zone of genius. Understanding what you do really well is your zone of genius. It's when you're working and your inner critics are quiet. You're in the zone, right? That's working in your zone of genius. Anytime you have to step out of that zone of genius, it takes energy, it can drain you. There are some needs for business. It's not a weakness because that implies you can flex that muscle and get better at it. Eh, yeah, you could, but it's still going to drain you and take you away from your zone of genius. So, absolutely hire out as much as you can. That's not your zone of genius. But when you said going after what you do really well and honoring it, that's a big deal. And instead of trying to balance out strengths and weaknesses, I remind people like when you do that, you become really good at being average. And we weren't designed to be average. We were all designed to be unique contributors to humanity in whatever way we do really well. So lean in and lean into the strengths and pull other people into your bubble that are good where you're not. And that allows them to be in their zone of genius. That's an area of leadership that a lot of leaders forget about and they have a hard time letting go of. But when they do, it elevates so many other people just for being in their presence.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't agree with that more. I think that there are times when we're all trying to be what people are saying we're supposed to be. And there's the saying I love that people are shoulding all over you.
Right.
You should do this, you should do that. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe that's for you. That's why I always love to give people advice and say, this has really worked for me. Maybe something like this would be good for you. Maybe not. These are things that I have found that worked really good. And it's a good way to speak to people and get conversation about what's going to really work for them in their zone of genius. And I love that because everybody, I believe, has a little bit of amazing inside of them. What is your
Yep.
amazing? What is it? What is God really using you to do? And it's easy for me to say about myself. I'm an inspirer, encourager. I am great at connecting and community building. That's what I'm all about
Mhm.
with marketing and all those things. But people are at the foundation of what I do. And so
Mhm.
people just need to find that, right?
That is true. When you were talking, what came up for me was you changing one letter from should to could. As a coach, we ask people, what could you do? What's in your control? Forget all the shoulds because that's other people's paradigms, that's other people's perspectives. What could you do? So when someone comes at me like, well, I think you should be, and I go, well, what could? I could, but I'm not sure that's exactly what I want to do. So you can actually banter back the shoulds with saying, I could. I'm not sure that's for me. I'm not sure that's the direction I want to go, or I would have already done it. It's a good idea. Let's explore it more. What do you mean by that? So, as fast as you can take should like a speed bump on a road and get past it, you will now be more in control of that conversation and learn more than just taking a should and walking away. So, I'm all about reminding people and giving them permission to lean into conversations, even when they start off wrong.
Well, and sometimes it takes that, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I love the quote by, and I think I use this today because my whole my LinkedIn newsletter today was about a little bit about failure, but in a good way, how we look at things and where we go with that. I love Michael Jordan's quote that I used in there, and that is, all the times that he failed, that he missed shots, that he did these things, but he always tried and did what he could. And because of that, and he worked to get better.
Yeah.
And because of all that in that process, he became the best ever. And it takes that. And so I think a lot of times turning the should into could and
Mhm.
what your zone of genius is really what launches you, right?
It does, and, Michael Jordan is a really great example of resilience. Just take every failure as another step towards success, but do what you can do. When you mention the word should, and people say don't should all over yourself, I think what we forget is the emotions that get triggered when someone says, "Oh, you should be. Oh, you should be." And I have to remind people it's easier to be furious than curious. So don't take the easy road. Stop. Get curious and come back and ignore the should and talk more about what could be done. And I think that's a level of resilience in a conversation that's tangible. And it's very Michael Jordan esque by stepping back in. Just step back in.
Well, I agree with that. In fact, one thing that I was thinking about Michael Jordan too, and I didn't put this together when I had my word of the day this morning, but also, when I say expect positive results, when he shot that ball, he
Mhm.
expected it to go in. Two of my favorite people, Michael Jordan and, well, actually three, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Joe Montana were people that they had so much confidence and so much thinking that what they were going to do was going to happen
Mhm.
the way that they expected it, that they gave everybody around them confidence and people, in fact, just people watching, fans. Every time Joe Montana threw the ball, I thought it would be a touchdown. Every time Michael Jordan shot, I expected it to go in. And that happens because people are working within their zone of genius, but expecting good things to happen. That builds confidence, that builds resiliency, like you said.
Mhm.
And I think that just makes us better people, right?
It does. In fact, expecting. So I get to deal with a lot of leaders who deal with people, and not all of them are easy to deal with. And it's easy to have kind of a premise that they don't do good work. They didn't do good work yesterday. They're not going to do good work today. And that's not fair. So I always remind them, assume noble intent. Expect them to get up wanting to make today better than yesterday and give them space to make that happen. When we expect the best from people and they have an off day, it's an off day. Remind them it's an off day and expect the best tomorrow. We do get what we focus on. So when I'm going to tie this back to giving people permission to ask for the feedback they want, expect to learn what you do well, expect to know where to grow. Because if somebody were to just tell you what to stop doing, you're going to focus on what to stop doing and you're going to keep doing it. It's this weird, mental, horrible brain trick. So you need to also tell people, here's what success looks like. Here's what I expect you that to happen when you work. Here's what success looks like. Give them a vision, just like Joe Montana's throwing the football, making a touchdown. Give them a vision of what it looks like so they have the right vision in their brain and they can actually make it happen.
Okay, so I love all that again. Total mic drop. I love what you're all about because it is so true. Getting that vision of what you can actually do. And I'm thinking about so many positive things, but that one comment you made triggered something in me. And that is first time I went into the MRI machine,
Mm,
they told me to stop swallowing. I had a not a very nice tech who told me to quit moving, and I wasn't moving. And then I realized I was swallowing. And so when you think about that, you go into this whole thing and you're swallowing, swallowing, swallowing. So what I did, just to give everybody an idea what you can do, is I diverted my thought. I actually
mhm,
started singing hymns and praises in my brain, things that
mhm,
calmed me down, gave me peace. I actually fell asleep in the tube after that. I was so calm and I quit swallowing because you've got to get your mind off the things that aren't good for you. So what we're talking about is, advocating and having power and really moving the direction you should move in your zone of
mhm.
genius. In order to do that, you got to get away from the things that are distracting you from that, right?
Yes, you absolutely do. Um, it's it's a very interesting dynamic to have the wherewithal like you did. When someone says stop doing something, you immediately go, what do I do instead? Because otherwise you're going to think about it. And you took that initiative. And so I would love to plant a seed for everybody here. If somebody says, please stop doing something, go ahead and ask, what would you like me to do instead? Paint a picture for me. That way you have this ability to share visions of what they see and what they're looking for, and you can match it. If you just concentrate on what to stop doing, you'll want to do it, like swallowing. So it's a great example. I'm going to change my background here because I think it messes up your view. There we go.
So, what I did works sometimes, not all the time, I'll be honest. But, the thing is, I think it's a good thing because people say, I can't do something. There's so many times people focus on what they can't do,
Hmm.
right? And guess
Right.
what? Why not focus on what you can do? Let me give one more example. I am not a person in the middle of the night. My beautiful wife, unfortunately, is a worrier. She'll wake up and then
Mm,
she'll be up for a couple hours worrying about something, right? I'm the kind of guy that gets up for a second, puts the dog out, goes back to bed, and fall right back to sleep. Well, I had that happen to me the other night, exactly what happens to her. And I woke up worrying about some stresses. And I'm not really a guy that stresses a lot, but I was. And it took a long time for me to refocus my brain. I took myself to Hawaii with my family. I took myself to New York with my family. And at Christmas time, I was thinking of anything happy that I
yep.
could do. And finally, it worked. But it takes work, everybody. And so instead of me focusing on the fact that at first I couldn't do it, it wasn't that I couldn't do it. I was just having a tougher time. And I got around
Hmm.
to it where I finally did do it. And I think that is true with anything in life you're doing in your life, your business, whatever.
Hmm.
Quit focusing on what you can't do. Start focusing on what you can do and expect positive results, right?
Absolutely. And you reminded me of something that I think is really intriguing for anybody going through anything stressful right now, because stress takes a toll on the body, and worry creates a toll on the body. Um, I had to take. I got the opportunity to learn how to meditate. I still don't do it very well, but the reason I was recommended to meditate was that when you can quiet your mind, it's the only time your brain gets to shut off and let your body heal completely, take care of itself. So if you're stressed and you can meditate, it's almost a remedy for the damage that stress can do to the body. And if the body's healing like yours is, um, meditation is that one and only time you can shut your brain off because it will still work when you sleep. But you can also plant a seed, like, what can I do? And then meditate. And often you'll come out with a clear vision of what you can do without even having had to think about it because your brain got to rest and it will come through with clarity. And during this holiday time, when family members come in and you've got the toxic person you haven't seen in a long time, or you've got a lot of insecurities about whatever it is, or other people are bringing their insecurities into the mix, take time for yourself, even if it's just to sit and breathe. You've got to give your body time to heal from the things that you allow in that causes stress. So, to that point of reprogramming your brain, there's lots of ways to do it. I was once reminded that prayer is asking and meditation is listening. And it's a good time to listen this holiday season as we not only have work and Q4 and family holidays and gatherings. Oh, you can just feel the tension, energy building as you list these things off. Um, go to work refreshed and come home refreshed with that goal.
Well, amen to that. And I'm telling you that, so I can give one more quick example. And the way that I look at things, I'm always expecting good things. That's just my personality. So when I go to something, I'm looking for the positive and the
Mhm.
opportunities, and I'm excited about whatever. And sometimes my beautiful wife, she, worries about things, and that's just her
Sure.
personality. But what ends up happening a lot of times is those fears and worries are unwarranted because she'll
Mhm.
go to an event with me and she's amazing and she does great and everything goes great. And so then we come home and she goes, "Wow, that was really awesome." And I said, "Yeah. So I guess we didn't need to worry for the whole trip there."
That's
But
right.
I'm just saying that I always joke that I have an unfair advantage. God gave me a personality where it's
Mhm.
easy for me to do that compared to some. But I just love the fact that, you get what you look for. You need to focus on things that are going to lead you in a positive direction, whatever it is in your life and business. And Carol, I just appreciate you so much. We are winding down, and I've
Okay.
got to be the responsible host and have you give me your gold nugget of today and let everybody know how they can get in touch with you because, boy, so much great stuff, everybody. You need to contact Carol. Go ahead.
I love to connect on LinkedIn. We get to have some great conversations there. So it's Carole Stizza with a E after Carol, um, and Stizza like pizza. It's two Z's. And I have a website, relevant-insight.com, and there's more landing pages coming with a lot more clarity on this leadership intel program that we're launching in 2025. But it's really to help leaders and their people connect in the way we connected today, like real human beings that expect the best from each other, and we stop shitting all over each other, and we have noble intent, and we really elevate the best in everyone. I come to all leaders reminding them what their people need from them, and it brings humanity back into the workplace.
Amen. That is so great. That's so great. I'm feeling good about one thing that I used to always do with my teams, my marketing teams.
Mhm.
When I help them out, I always would say, if you want to elevate yourself, if you're starting off in a day, because I did this for me, if you're starting off and you're not feeling it, things aren't going your way, and you need to elevate your attitude and all that you're getting done, get around people that will do that. I would
Mhm.
always grab coffee and go see a friend that was maybe a business friend that would do exactly that. I would go to, and I had several of them, so I had a lot of choices, but I would go and they would lift me up in the conversation. And who knows, maybe I'll get a little business done at the same time, but it was a friend that would really help. And so getting around people that elevate you, like Carol, everybody, is what you need to do to make things move in a more positive direction. And I just love that. So, Carol, thank you as always. You're amazing.
You are too. So I hope that everybody has an amazing week equal to this time.
Yes. And don't forget, everybody, to use hashtag 1000 thanks as we go get closer to Thanksgiving this week. Carol, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Hang tight for just a minute in the green room. I'll be right there. Okay.
Okay, you got
Thank-
it.
Wow. I tell you, honestly, I am so blessed with amazing, amazing friends that are willing to come on and elevate you, everybody, give you value. And you know what? Give you hope sometimes where you feel like there's things you can't do, but there's so much you can do. There's so much if you just move in the positive direction and think about actually accomplishing and having positive results. If you get your mind moving that direction, it makes a big difference. And if you're having struggles, if you're not like me where you can actually make that mind shift on your own, get around people like Carole said that elevate you, that help you make that positive shift, or ask the person you're around, what can you do instead if there's something that is plugged in your brain that you don't want there. So it's just all a matter of pushing out the bad things by filling it with good things, right? That's what we do. So there's only so much room in your brain. I know they say there's this gigantic capacity, but just from day to day, we can only cram so much in at one time. So cram in good stuff and not just the bad stuff. So thanks all for being here today. I'm telling you, I'm excited about Thanksgiving coming up this week too. Have some amazing family time. And yeah, it's just going to be a blessing. Just want to remind you all, please, if you have any questions, go to russhedge.com and connect with me today. Would love to connect with you. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube page at marketingwithruss.live. If you know my name and you know the name of the show, you got me down. And that's everything you need. So, and thanks for sharing and tagging your friends here, because even if you just came into the show or you're watching on replay, you can still connect, you can still engage. So connect, share with your friends. Make sure that you put hashtag team replay if you are coming in on replay, and don't forget to please put hashtag what's the word I'm looking for? There you go. If you're watching on replay, please put hashtag team replay. There you go. And thank you so much. My brain will work here sooner or later. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here. Been a blessing as always. Until we see you again, which actually is on Thanksgiving. We have a short Thanksgiving special this Thursday. Looking forward to seeing you. Have an awesome week. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.